I've been trying to figure it out how I'm supposed to feel about turning 30. When I was a kid, a birthday was a reason for big celebrations. I had a special feeling inside of me that would make me anxious about the big day. I would wake up very early in the morning, sometimes not sleeping at all, and still have so much energy. It was just pure happiness. That feeling eventually faded, and birthdays started to look more like a normal day. My birthdays were always days for reflections, and each year I would ask myself, what have I accomplished so far? Follow my heart, not my eyes. If you have asked me as a teenager where I thought I would be by now, I would probably say married with kids, a homeowner, and settle in a lifelong career. It took me several years to realize that life does not need to follow this recipe in order to be happy. And the closer I got to 30, the more left behind I felt. Well, I do worry about those things, especially me being a mother. But does life have to follow the social narrative? On top of that, I have fallen out of love for my last job. I no longer had the spike I had years ago for my job. Feeling the pressure of turning 30, I began to realize that I am creating my own recipe of life. Create a path of my own. I have feared to be a failure for as long as I can remember. For me, taking those culturally accepted routes to happiness was the solution to success. Learning by observing other people around me growing old and happy, that seemed the best way. But the more I learned about their lives, the more scared I felt. Because happiness doesn't simply come by just following a list, let alone a recipe of others. Some people can get all their lists checked in their lives, but in fact, the list seems to be growing and never stop. Life isn't a series of lists. I think people ought to create a path for themselves, especially when they turn 30. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. I was a firm believer that setting myself with strict goals and being constant ambitious are something that could make me happy. What I didn't know was that I was focusing on the goals of making other people happy instead of myself. The people who seem to have everything figured out are always in the pursuit of happiness, and their happiness comes in different forms and shapes. There's nothing wrong with that, because life is diverse and should continue to be so. Happiness is never a destination, but a journey of searching, doing, and researching. Being grateful and positive. I honestly don't know where I will be in the upcoming years. What I know is that there are endless possibilities. Today, I'm just grateful for my health, my family, and friends, and the freedom to choose whatever path I decide to take next. Fears will disappear or be minimized when I remind myself to have strong values, to be brave, compassionate, and inquisitive. Today, I'm just grateful to have even made it this far.